it's Ronnie, and welcome to the best of 30 Days of Sketches by Christie's Beautiful Life. And this is a sketch we're using today. I'm not going to have two photos, I'm only going to have one. But I'm sort of kind of staying with the sketch. I picked this photo to use, and it is of my grandkids and my nephew. Well, a few of my grandkids. And I didn't have a second one for that instant. And I'm showing the dies that I plan to use. And then this is a collection, Jack and Jill from Echo Park. Oh, and Got Flowers, I have some of them, the little punches, and a couple of other punches that I plan on using. And that paper there, I wasn't sure I'd ever use it, but that sketch has a cloud in it. And I thought I could use it for my background. It'll work. And it's Cartabella, something about country, high country maybe. I'm not sure. It came in a warehouse box. I am going to cut this piece here apart and use it in place of that polka dot paper on the sketch. I like to cut the wood grain apart every now and then because it adds texture to my layout. And this was going diagonally. And if I had thought about it when I had one of the diagonal pages to do, I would have most certainly used it. But I didn't think about it till I pulled it out for this layout. I started to start my planks there. And so, yeah, I'm putting that first one down. And then it hit me that on the sketch, it's all the way over. So I'm going to go ahead and make it all the way over with my planks there. And although I don't really ink anything else on the layout, I don't think anything else. I am inking it to give it more texture and dimension and make them look more individual than they would if I just put them down the way they were to start with. And surprisingly, I am not using any distress ink. I am using Close to My Heart, and it's cocoa, so I used it because it was darker. And if you see anything flying around on my layouts, it's because I have the fan going. It's pretty hot and humid here. I'm going to lay my photo down on top of this after I put the foam tape on it. And all I did was lay it there a second, planning on moving it. It stuck. It's a good thing it was on there straight. I'm kind of running out of pieces to use, and so I'm using my partials on the last one. I think it is. It might be the last two, but I'm thinking it's the last one. I did use some partials on some of the others because they were a little short, not a whole lot. But on this one, I needed at least one more with what scraps I had. I figured, well, I can squeeze one more out. Oh, I'm going to do two. I am doing two. And so I just kept using my scraps and putting them on there. And I decided it was going over far enough. And so I thought I'd be putting my title in that empty space. However, it's going to go on part of that and the empty space with the clouds. Because y'all know I like more, and I just kept going with those planks. Yeah, if I thought about getting the little triangles that I cut out, back over there. But I thought, oh no, I've got enough. I do have enough. Stop it. And I did make up ahead of time this part right here so I could use some of the scraps in case I needed them. However, I didn't need them. Nothing came up that I needed those scraps for. I am putting nails, faux nails, on my planks here, and I'm going to forget those in between planks, but they're going to pretty much be covered up, so it don't matter anyway. So it was all right. That I forgot, that is. Oh, it has two banners on the layout, but I thought I'd do two tags instead. And instead of them being the same paper, I'm going to use two different papers, and then I'm going to use my tag punch with them. And I think I did them at 2 inches, and I'm going to round the corners also on them. But this tag punch is just one I got from Hobby Lobby, I think. I'm pretty sure that's where I got it. And it does do 3 different sizes. I pulled out my corner chomper so I could round the corners in 1/4 inch is what I ended up doing it with. I'm going to tuck them under that photo. And I cut out all the struggle I had pulling that up. So y'all will see me smoothly slide it under there. Well, maybe not quite as smoothly as it could have been if it wasn't stuck so bad. And I have been calling this black thread stuff here jute. But I got to thinking it wasn't near as stiff as jute usually is. It's embroidery thread because I remember buying it. And so, yeah, it's embroidery thread. My titles from the font is from Spellbinders. And I don't have an apostrophe, so I made one. Or a question mark. This font does come with a bunch of little flowers and leaves because it's called Into the Garden or something like that. So it has little flowers and leaves for you to put on top of the letters. But I took and made an extra letter S, and now I'm taking my bone folder to it. And you know how when you use the die cut machine, it kind of curves it over, and then on the back it's kind of sticking up. Well, I took the bone folder and smoothed that down so everything's flat now, like if I use my Cricut or Silhouette or something. And I was just a wee bit fast with that pair of scissors snipping that off there. So I cut it a little bit short. Not the first time though. So I'm just going to add to it and make it a little bit longer, and it's still going to look like a question mark. But I guess I need to tell you about the photo. We were at the park one day, and we had been there before, of course. Sometimes I had a camera, sometimes I didn't. I was so thankful I had a camera this time. They walked across the bridge, and one of them noticed there was no water underneath the bridge. And so they were all looking, and then they had to get down and look under the bridge just to make sure. And I was so glad I had a camera because all the questions, where's the water? Well, what happened to the water? There's water in there all the time we've been here before. Why isn't there water here now? You know, well, you know how kids are. They've got a million questions, and they did have. And I was laughing and shaking my head and taking the picture because I was thinking that is just so funny how they were bumfuddled over no water being under the bridge. Now, generally, there wasn't much water in this creek. It, if they were lucky, it was maybe ankle deep, if they were lucky. And there was times they waded in it, but it was so funny that there was no water, and they were so shocked that there wasn't any water. You'll see close-ups of the photo at the end, but yeah, they were all checking it out and discussing it and asking questions. But while I am adding the flowers to this, I want to mention that down there below, you will find the master link that Christy made for a playlist with a few hundred videos. I double checked. It's not quite up to 100, 400. It's not quite up to 400 yet, but it's getting there. It might be by today. Who knows? But yeah, lots of videos for you to watch. And on that sketch, there was this little round tab thing coming out beside that one photo. That's why I showed it up there by it. And I put it on there. I won't cover most of it up, but I put it on there. And I started to get 3 little tag stickers out, and notice they were all light blue. Well, I didn't want them all light blue, even though I liked what they said. And so I changed it, and instead of documented, I've got noted. And I can't remember the other word that I had, but I put amazing adventure. Adventure I had to start with. But I'm putting a little cluster beside it because there were 2 butterflies on the layout. And I do have my clouds. I have more than they do, but I do have my clouds. And I put this little cluster down here, and I thought for the other butterfly, I'll put an airplane. So I cut it off the cover sheet for this, and I tucked it where, well, one tire isn't really there. I tried to cut it a little bit round and guess. I should have marked it or something. But I tuck it behind the fence That way, that one that wasn't quite perfect didn't have to be. And yeah, that's it. That's my layout. And I had fun doing it. Yeah, I didn't notice till after I put the camera on there that it has wood grain on there and at an angle like the original. So it's kind of going opposite from what is on the wood grain behind it. But I left it there because I liked it there anyway. And I do have the die that makes, I think, the exact same camera, but I didn't think about getting it out till I was watching the video, of course. But if you leave a comment below, I'll try to get back with you. And if you like the video and hit a thumbs up, I'd appreciate it. If you are not subscribed to my channel, I would love to have you subscribe. And those of you who are, thank you so much. But yeah, you seen that picture that went by there while I was talking of the kids checking it all out and being in shock over no water. But have a happy, scrappy week. Yeah, there they are again. And uh, yeah, they're checking it out pretty good. But have fun checking out all the videos on this. I'm not sure if you really want to call it a hop or not. A collaboration. Yeah, month-long collaboration. But and I thought about doing rocks. See where I got the idea for the rocks, but I went with the wood because of the bridge. And yeah. Bye.